Nicki here, coming at you live inside the art of building a successful massage practice. If you don't know who I am, my name is Nicki. I am a massage therapist in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I am a graduate of the Rock Your Massage Practice Academy, which is the 8-week coaching program created by Rebecca Diaz-Avedo, who is the owner of this group. I did her academy. I did the training back in 2018, 4 years ago, 6 weeks after opening my private practice, and my practice skyrocketed from there, and now I make 6 figures working part-time, and I want that for you, if that's what you want. I just want you to chase your dreams, and Rebecca is absolutely the best way to get there. So I made a post a little while ago in this group about money. And I'm just here to talk a little bit more in detail about that post. I thought I'd expand on that a little bit. If you are watching me live, please say hi. Please comment below. Tell me where you're from. And usually I ask for favorite movie. Let's switch it up. Tell me your favorite color. If you can't tell by looking, my favorite color is purple. So yeah, comment below, tell me where you're from, and tell me your favorite color. I'm Nicki, I'm from Toronto, and my favorite color is purple. So, let's talk about money. Money. Even just the word itself can drum up a lot of feelings. For a lot of people, I find that what comes to mind when you hear this word, for a lot of people, it's fear, guilt, shame, confusion. You know, a lot of people don't really even know how much they earn or how much they're spending or how much they need to earn. Judgment, judging other people for having a lot of money. Scarcity, there's not enough money, I never have enough money. Panic, some people panic around money. I know this because I talk to a lot of massage therapists, and I hear a lot of these sort of negative and sort of anxious feelings around money. And also I used to have a lot of these same feelings. I used to live paycheck to paycheck. Before I became a massage therapist, I worked in a shrinking industry. I worked in the music industry, and I worked at a shrinking company, and I was constantly living paycheck to paycheck. And let me tell you, it was no fun, and it was really stressful. And I decided to make a change, and I became a massage therapist because I thought, I want something that everybody wants. If I'm a massage therapist, who doesn't want a massage? Everybody wants a massage, right? Guys, we have magical hands. We have something that everybody wants. Like, how cool is that? To me, I thought, oh my gosh, that's just the easiest sell ever. And that's why I became a massage therapist, because I thought it would be so much easier to make money. And then I realized that, oh, you also have to learn a thing or two about business in order to make money. You can't just become a massage therapist and call it a day. But you absolutely can make excellent money and build the life of your dreams through massage therapy. You can do that. I'm doing it, and I'm here to be an example of what's possible. I want that for you so badly. So I've been working a lot, really hard, a lot, on changing the way that I think about money and about earning a great living as a massage therapist. And what I've noticed is that now that I think completely differently about money than I used to, I have so much more of it. And this is not law of attraction stuff. Guys, to be completely honest, I don't actually believe in the law of attraction. I know a lot of people are super into it, and that's great. If that works for you, that's amazing. I don't think it's as simple as if you envision $100,000, you're just going to get $100,000. There are action steps in between, but I do think that when you start shifting the way that you think about money and the way that you think about earning and earning potential, and when you think about, when you change the way that you think about what you're worth and what you can charge and what you can earn, and when you see what other people can earn, then that kind of gets the gears going and the ball rolling, and then you can start taking the right action steps in order to get that. So that's what I believe, that if you can change the way that you think about money, that'll impact the way that you feel about money, and that will change the actions that you take, and that's what's going to get you more money. And I think if you're in this group, most of you want more money, and I think that's a beautiful thing to want. So, if you are having troubles creating new thoughts about money. I just want to share some of the positive beliefs that I have about money, and you can steal these, you can borrow these, you can write these down. Just it's something to ponder, something to think about. These are some positive beliefs that I have about money, because I think there are enough negative beliefs out there about money. So I'd just like to introduce you to some of my positive thoughts. So, thought number 1. The gender pay gap won't close itself. It's up to women to go out and get money for ourselves. I believe this to my core. So many of you may be familiar with the gender pay gap. It's basically just the fact that in general, men make more money than women, even for doing the same job. But also men typically tend to be in positions of power, and they tend to get the higher paying jobs, and that's just the way of the world, and that's kind of the way it always has been. And we are slowly tipping the scales in the other direction. There are now plenty of women millionaires and billionaires, and I think that's amazing. And I know that there are more than 2 genders, so this is just a sweeping generalization. But in general, men out-earn women, even for doing the same amount of work. And the gap is slowly closing. I think we're getting up there, you know, but it's not going to close itself. And I think a big part of getting equality for women and for other marginalized people, a lot of that is on us. And I think we need to take responsibility for going out and chasing those dreams and chasing that money ourselves. I'm not going to sit around and wait for people to offer me money. I'm going to go and get it. So that's what I constantly remind myself when I think about how much money I want to earn and how wonderful I think it is for women to earn money, is that the gender pay gap isn't going to close itself. So if anybody asks me about my rates, that's what I say. Gender pay gap isn't going to close itself. That's why I'm expensive. Number 2, the world will be a better place when we put more money in the hands of marginalized people. I believe this so deeply in my heart. What do I mean by marginalized people? I am not anti-man. I am a feminist, but I want to be very clear. I am not anti-man. I am not anti-white people. I am not anti-white men. I am not an angry feminist. I'm a feminist, but I'm not an angry feminist. But most people are marginalized. Most people live on the margins. That means women, which is more than 50% of the population, I'm pretty sure. Gender diverse people, genderqueer people. So like trans people, non-binary people, intersex people, gender fluid people. Oh, hey, Scott. Thanks for chiming in. People of color, people with disabilities, queer people, people in the LGBTQ plus community, basically anybody who isn't a cisgendered, heterosexual, white Christian man, basically, which is most people. And again, if you are a straight white Christian man, there's nothing wrong with that. But the rest of us want more money, basically, and I want to get more money in the hands of the rest of us. I don't want to take it away from you. I just want us to have more. I want everyone to have more. And I honestly believe that the world will be a better place when we get more money and more power and more equality for the rest of us. And if you're a massage therapist, you're probably a member of a marginalized group. I mean, that's just stats. I think 80% of massage therapists are women, or people who are socialized as women. So right out of the gate, we're mostly marginalized people. And I want us to get more money and more power and more confidence. And I think we need to get more money in the hands of women, especially. And we need to have women business owners and women CEOs and women decision makers and women in positions of power and women leading countries and women in parliament. And we need more women getting out there and getting it done. I was not going to say it. You know what I was going to say instead. So that's what I believe. The world will be a better place when we can kind of, I'm not looking to take anything away from anybody else. Just like tip the scales, make it a little more even. Positive money belief number 3. Every time I raise my rates, I inspire my fellow massage therapists to raise theirs too. This isn't a belief. This is just a fact. I raise my rates every year, and every time I do it, I get messages from people I've never met, mostly women, because again, most massage therapists are women. I get private messages and I get emails saying, you've inspired me and I'm going to raise my rates too. And there's just no better feeling. I love those messages. Guys, if I've ever inspired you, please let me know. I love hearing that. It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy, and I love that so much. Number 4, money belief number 4, massage therapy is not expensive. A lot of people out there are saying, well, I can't raise my rates because massage therapy is already expensive enough. The word expensive is completely subjective. What's expensive to me might not be expensive to somebody else. If you ask 100 different people what an expensive massage is, or what the word expensive even means, you're going to get 100 different answers. It's completely subjective. It's completely made up. Some people think $60 is too much. Some people think that $200 is too little. You never know. So I don't think massage therapy is expensive. I don't think it's expensive enough. I think most people are undercharging. I think it's an investment. When I get a massage, I got a massage yesterday. It's an investment in my health. And there's really nothing that's more valuable than my health. So I don't think of it as expensive at all. I think of it as it's just a necessary investment in my own health. So that's just my own personal view. So if somebody says, well, massages are so expensive, it doesn't mean it's expensive. It just means that, the person who's saying that doesn't value it. And that's fine. Not everybody has to love massage. I want to work with the people who do. I want to find the clients who do love massage and who do value massage. And if you don't, that's fine. I'm not going to judge you. It just means that you're not my client. Here's a fun one. Positive money belief number 5. Not everyone is looking for a bargain. So many of you are undervaluing yourselves and you are undercharging because you think that everybody wants what's cheap. You think everybody wants a bargain. Everybody's looking for a deal. Everybody's looking for a discount. You can't charge a premium because a chain spa opened up around the corner and now you have to compete with them on pricing. Guys, not everyone is looking for a bargain. I was watching an interview recently with, oh my gosh, what is her name? Mel Robbins? Is that the 5-second rule and the high five habit? Mel Robbins? Is that her name? Mel something. And, oh, thank you, Tracy, so much. And she's an author and she's a public speaker, and she was telling this incredible story about how she had this public speaking gig and her agent kept telling her, you need to raise your rates, you need to raise your rates, like your rate for public speaking. So she was I don't know what she was charging, but she had a rate for public speaking and she kept undervaluing herself. And she booked this gig and she went and she gave the speech and, standing ovation and everybody loved it and it was absolutely amazing. And she did such a great job. And the organizer of the event pulled her aside afterwards. So it was Mel speaking and then I think 2 other men who were speaking. And the organizer pulled her aside after and said, look, we hired 3 people to give speeches today. 2 men and you. You by far gave the best speech of the day. You had people like hanging off every word. You got a standing ovation. Like you were the best speaker of the day. And you were the cheapest. And we almost didn't hire you because you were so cheap. They almost didn't give her the gig because they thought, well, she's so cheap, how good can she be? And so she went to her agent and she said, double my rates. I'm charging twice as much for giving speeches now. Not everyone is looking for a bargain. I have talked to so many massage therapists out there who are charging like $1 a minute. Guys, that's like 1990s pricing. You can't make a living off of that when you're running your own practice. You got business expenses, not to mention the additional time it takes that you're not getting paid for to just run your business. And they'll say things like, I can't raise my rates because I can't afford to lose anybody. People are already, I charge $1 a minute and they're still asking for discounts. When you charge $1 a minute, when you are the cheapest in town, you are going to attract cheapskates. You're going to attract deal seekers. You're going to attract people who are coming to you because you're cheap. When you are expensive, I'm the most expensive massage therapist I know in a major city. And I work in the lowest income neighborhood in the city, by the way. And I am one of the most expensive massage therapists I know. nobody asked me for discounts. I had one person, last time I raised my rates, I had one person ask me for a discount. This person also likes to spend every session talking about her destination wedding to Europe, by the way. So she doesn't need a discount. But everybody else, they don't ask me for discounts. They're not looking for a bargain. I've had people come to me and they look at my website and they say, wow, this is a great website. And wow, this person really knows her stuff. And oh, wow, she's expensive. She must be really good. I'm going to go to her. Because they value their health. And they don't want to get naked in a room with a stranger, with just anybody. They don't want to go to the cheapest. Not everyone is looking for a bargain. You don't have to undercut yourself. You don't have to undercut the competition. You don't have to undersell yourself. There are people out there who want a bargain, who, you know, everybody loves a good deal, right? Those people don't have to be your people. You can, I heard another friend of mine was talking recently, and she had this really good analogy. And basically what she said was, she used to be like a starving artist. She was like a comedian and a bartender. And so she never had any money. And she used to scrape together like the coins in her change purse to save like $1.50 to go to Tim Hortons to get a coffee. Tim Hortons is the Canadian kind of cheap coffee chain. It's kind of like the Canadian Dunkin' Donuts, basically. But we're very proud of our Tim Hortons coffee and our Tim Hortons donuts. But they're cheap. You can go and you can get a large coffee for like, you know, $1.50 or whatever. And so she was telling this story about how she used to like scrimp and save and you know, save all the nickels and dimes and go to Tim Hortons and get a coffee. And then once she got a little bit older and got a little more educated and started making more money, then she would go to Starbucks and then she would spend $5 on a latte. You know, and it wasn't that big of a deal because she was earning more money. And then she started running her own business and making really good money. And now she doesn't even bat an eye when she goes out to dinner and spends $15 on a glass of wine. And so what's the point of that? There is a market for every price point. Tim Hortons can charge $1.50 for a coffee. And they can make a profit. If they sell a lot of coffee, they can make a profit. And there are people who are never going to want to spend more than that, and that's fine. And then you've got Starbucks, very successful company. They sell lattes for $5, $6, $7, however much a latte is now. And there's a whole group of people that go to Starbucks and get their lattes. And there's also a whole other group of people that go out and will drop $15 on a glass of wine, and they won't even think about it. There are people in every group and enough people to serve every price point that everyone can win. The problem with being a cheap massage therapist is in order to make good money, you have to give a lot of massages, and that's exhausting. That's not how I want to live. I want to give very few massages and make a lot of money. That's the way I live my life. And yeah, there will always be people who want a bargain. There will always be people who want the $60 an hour massage. Those people are out there for sure. There are also people who spend $300 on a massage and offered a tip on top of that. It's just, who do you want to serve? I can't answer that for you. But don't try to tell me that people won't pay more for a massage. That is just not true. There are people out there at every price point. It's true. You can't argue with me on that. Okay, positive money belief number 6. People love spending money. How do I know this? Take a look at your bank account. It's probably empty. Look, I make really good money and I spend a lot of money too. Like last year I made more money than I ever have in my life. I made $115,000 last year in a pandemic, working part-time. Guys, I work 4 days a week. That's a 3-day weekend every weekend, and I take 3 months of vacation. That's 200 days off a year, 200 days every year that I don't give massages, and I make 6 figures. And I spent so much money last year. I invested heavily in my business. I bought myself a $1,000 espresso machine just because I wanted one. I got myself a robot vacuum. I spent a lot of money too. So people love spending money. Look, how many of you have been scrolling through Instagram and then you see an ad for some ridiculous trinket and you click, and before you know, you've spent $50 on it? I've done it. You guys know Ponyo? You know those like stiff ponytail basically all it does is it gives like volume and oomph to your ponytail. That's all it does. I bought like 5 of them recently for no reason. Like, people love spending money. People like spending money. They do. Again, not everybody's looking for a bargain. People really want to spend money. So, yeah, I remind myself of that every time I think, you know, I try to, if I come up against these limiting beliefs about how much people are willing to spend. There's a woman, a TikToker, a TikTok star, TikTok influencer, TikTok's, I don't know, I don't use TikTok, but she recently sold her farts in a jar. She farted into a jar and she sold them and she made $200,000. People will buy literally anything. And you know what? Good for her. Good for her for selling her farts for $1,000 a jar. I think that's amazing. The fact that she can get people to pay that is amazing. People are willing to spend $1,000 on a fart in a jar from some woman on TikTok. Guys, they're going to spend $200 on a massage, please. Positive money belief number 7. The more I earn, the more generously I can donate to charitable causes that I want to support. I love this. I donate $5 from every massage that I give to charity. I started doing that a couple years ago, and it's spread like wildfire. I have so many of my friends and colleagues are telling me that they're doing the same thing, that they're donating a portion of every massage that they give to charity. And it's like, it's so exciting when I see that other people are doing that and that I inspired them to do that. So I love earning money, and I love hearing stories about women and marginalized people earning money. And I am a big fan of money. I just think it's cool and fun. But I also really love donating money to charity, and I love having the money to donate to charity. How many causes do you wish that you could support if only you had the means? There's no better feeling than having a $13,000 month, which is typical for me, by the way. I only work 4 days a week and typically earn about $12,000 to $13,000 a month, which I did through coaching, and giving a lot of it away. It's the best feeling. So yeah, I donate $5 from every massage to my local food bank. Positive money belief number 8. I stole this from somebody else. If you have a problem that money can solve and you have the money to solve it, then you no longer have a problem. I just think that's really fun to think about. It's so true. Like, if my toilet's overflowing and I have enough money to hire a plumber, all of a sudden, that's not a problem. I just call a plumber and they come over and they fix it. Problem solved. If I don't have the money to solve the problem, okay, well, now I still have a problem. But if you have the money to solve these problems, problem solved. This is how I viewed coaching, by the way. When I first opened my private practice, I didn't know what I was doing. I was working from home. I didn't have a sign. I didn't have an awning. I didn't have a sandwich board. Nobody knew. I was new to the neighborhood. Nobody knew I was here. I was a new massage therapist. I didn't have a lot of experience. I didn't know anything about sales or marketing or copywriting. I didn't know how to price myself. I didn't know what my business expenses were. I didn't know anything about anything. I just kind of opened my doors and said, here I am. And I went it alone for 6 weeks. 6 weeks. I tried to run a business on my own. And I thought, okay, that was enough of that. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to pay someone to tell me how to do this properly. Because it was a problem that I needed solving, and there was somebody who I could pay to do it for me. And so I found Rebecca Diazevedo. I found this Facebook group, and I fell in love with her. I watched her videos. I loved everything that she had to say. I loved her attitude. I loved her no-nonsense approach, her tough love approach. And I thought, yeah, she's got my vote. And I hired her, and I did what she said, and now I make up to $1,000 a day. Like clockwork, like every week. I made $1,000 on Wednesday. Yeah. If you have a problem with your business, if you're under earning, or if you're drawing in the wrong clients, or if your schedule is inconsistent, or if you're getting a lot of requests for massages that you don't want to provide, these problems can be solved. And I am a big fan of just paying somebody to solve my problems for me. So that's how I feel about coaching. It's an investment. To me, it was not an expenditure. It was an investment, and it has paid back a millionfold. Positive money belief number 9. When I earn good money, I can afford to invest in my business by hiring other women entrepreneurs. So the more money I make, the more people I can hire to help me run my business. And it just so happens that all of the people I've chosen to hire are women, because women are my favorite. My photographer and the makeup artist that she brought with her, my web designer, the interior designers I hired to do my recent renovation of my massage space, my copywriting coaches, and my business coach, Rebecca Diaz-Avedo. These are all women, and I have paid all of these women to help me build my practice. And I love that. I love that the more money I make, the more I get to give to women. And I think that's amazing. And to the men and the gender diverse people who are watching this, I do not want you to feel excluded. We've got nothing but love for you in this group. I just happen to have a soft spot in my heart for women. Positive money belief number, what am I on? 10? We'll go with 10. Earning more means I can work less, which will save my hands and my body so I can keep massaging for decades to come and to continue helping more people. Guys, I did not get into this career to burn out. This is a second career for me. I did not get into this career to burn out and give up and close my business in 5 years. Too many people do that. There is a high burnout rate in the profession of massage therapy. And I think it's because we're under earning. If you're not charging enough for a massage, then you have to give a lot of massages in order to make ends meet. And this is a physically demanding job. And I'm not trying to be lazy, but taking a lot of breaks, taking a lot of vacation, taking lengthy vacations, taking a lot of time off, that is saving my hands and saving my body, because too many of you are working yourselves to the point of injury because you're working too much, because you're not charging enough, and because you're working with the wrong people. You know, you guys are out there giving like deep tissue massages to bodybuilders when maybe that's not what you do best. If that's what you do best, amazing. That can be a great niche if you want. But that's not what I do. That's not what I like to do. I'm not going to break my body. I'm 5 feet tall, guys. I have tiny childlike hands. I'm not going to do super deep pressure on bodybuilders. I would break every, no, I'm just not doing it. I just won't do it. So, I look at charging a premium as, again, an investment in my own body and my own self-care. I use my time off to rest, to recharge, and I use the money that I earn to pay for things like regular massage therapy and physiotherapy and personal training and my gym membership, and I invest in my own health and my own body, and I make sure that I take enough time to rest and restore myself so that when I'm at work I can give it my all. You're not helping anybody if you are working yourself to the point of burnout and injury. You're not doing anybody any favors. I've seen too many massage therapists close their practices because they can't afford to pay their bills and go into other professions because the wear and tear on their body. And it doesn't have to be that way. If you charge a premium and if you get more expensive, you don't have to give as many massages. Like I said, I make 6 figures working part-time. That's my goal. I don't want to work 5 days a week. I don't want to work 300 days a year. No, I want to do this for the long haul. I want to do this for years and years to come. And part of that is being expensive and learning how to market to those people. That's how I save my body. Positive money belief number 11. Money lets me travel the world and diversify my viewpoint by exploring different cultures. And that is my absolute favorite way to learn and grow. When I worked in the record industry, I had this awesome job. It was so much fun. I worked at this record label and they had really great vacation. Like we would get every other Friday off all summer. We would get like 2 weeks at Christmas. We had stat holidays. We had, I think it was like 2 to 3 weeks of vacation, plus personal days, plus sick days. Like if you added it all up, the vacation was actually really, really good, the vacation time at this job. The problem was I didn't get paid very well. And so I got all this time off and I couldn't go anywhere because I was living paycheck to paycheck and I could never afford to go anywhere. And that sucked. And I would watch my friends and my family members take these big extravagant trips and I couldn't join them because I couldn't afford it. I had the time, but I didn't have the means. And that was really depressing because I I come from a traveling family, and even my dad was an immigrant. So I love traveling, and I always wanted to be able to afford to do it myself. So when I started my practice, and when I hired Rebecca Diaz-Azevedo as my business coach, that was one of my goals, is to be able to earn enough money so that I could take lengthy vacations. And that's what I do. I haven't been anywhere in 2 years because of the shenanigans that have been going on. But before the pandemic, I would take the first 6 weeks off of every year, all of January and half of February, and I would travel for 6 weeks straight. So 2020, right before lockdown, I spent the first 6 weeks in Panama, Colombia, Ecuador, and the Galapagos Islands. And Galapagos is not cheap, let me tell you. And then the year before that, I took 6 weeks off and traveled Southeast Asia. And these are like $10,000 vacations, you guys. Like, these are, I do it on the cheap, but if you're traveling for 6 weeks at a time, it's going to be $8,000 to $10,000. And I can do that because Rebecca taught me how to build a thriving practice. She taught me how to make bank. She taught me how to make good money and how to take a ton of time off. And so now my goal is to take 3 months off a year and travel when I get back to traveling. And I can do that because I make really good money. And I want that for you, if that's what you want. I want you to take enough time off that you can protect your body, and to be able to have enough money to do what you want in the time that you're taking off. You know, if you want to take your kids to Disney World, I want you to be able to afford to do that. You should be able to do that. Positive money belief number 12. Money can help to provide feelings of safety, security, and peace of mind. When I was living paycheck to paycheck, I was constantly stressed, constantly thinking about money, either constantly checking my bank account or avoiding it because I didn't want to look at it because I knew I wasn't going to like the numbers that I saw. And now that I have money, and more importantly, now that I have the ability to earn as much as I want, I feel safe, I feel secure, and I feel this sense of calm, just like serenity. Just knowing that I can make money, and it doesn't have to be hard. And it's such a wonderful feeling. And when I hear the way that a lot of you feel about money and the way that you're talking about money, I want you to have the same peace of mind that I do. And you can absolutely have that. It just takes some strategy. Oh, sorry, my cat's being vocal. Positive money belief number 13. When I'm not anxious about money, I'm able to be more present and generous with my friends and family. So again, I've mentioned this before. When I was living paycheck to paycheck, when I was struggling with money, I was constantly anxious and constantly thinking about money. And then I would say no, I would turn down my friends. So a bunch of friends would want to go out to a dinner at a nice restaurant, and I wouldn't go. Or I would go and I would have like a salad. Or I would show up late, you know, they would have a big fancy dinner and I would show up late just for the dessert portion because I would, you know, be sitting at home eating my ramen noodles or whatever. So I wasn't joining in with my friends in the things that they were doing because I couldn't afford to. And if I was with them, I was constantly stressing about, okay, where are we going? How much is it going to cost? How much is this ticket to this event that we're going to? And, you know, oh, now I have to pay for parking, and now I have to pay for coat check, and I was nickel and diming everything. And I was focusing on the money instead of focusing on being present with the people in my life. And now that I'm not anxious about money, and now that I just have complete calm and confidence around my ability to earn really good money just by giving massages, when I'm with my friends, I'm not focusing on the money and the noise. I'm with them. I'm really present. And I have friends who under earn. And now I earn enough money that I can buy them dinner. So before, I wouldn't even go to dinner because I couldn't afford it. And now I'll take my friends out and I'll buy them dinner because I can afford it. And it's just a really good feeling. And I want that for you. You can have that. Positive money belief number 14. Money gives me the confidence of knowing that I don't need to rely on other people to take care of me. I don't need no man to pay my bills. That is the best feeling. Guys, it's only in recent generations that women have even been allowed to get educated, get jobs, buy property, you know, without a man's permission. We were property. For centuries, we were the property of men. And now we've got women running countries, we've got women CEOs, we've got women millionaires and billionaires. Like, the feeling of knowing that I can be self-sufficient, that I don't need to rely on somebody else to take care of me. I used to have, you know, ages ago, again, when I was struggling financially, I had a roommate, and I never had rent money on the first of the month. I could never pay rent on the first of the month. My roommate, my male roommate, would pay the rent, and then when I got my paycheck 2 weeks later, I would pay him back. And I was constantly running behind, and I needed him to pay the rent for me, and then I would pay him back 2 weeks later. It was not a good feeling. And I'm so grateful that he did that for me, but it wasn't a good feeling. Now I make 6 figures working part-time. I make enough money that I don't need help from anybody else. And that is so empowering. And if you have help from somebody else, and if you have a dual income household, then that's amazing. But that is not a reason to under-earn. I have heard so many women tell me, oh, well, you know, I don't need to work a lot, or I don't need to charge a lot because, you know, my husband makes good money. If that's working for you, that's great. But like, what if he loses his job? What if you split up? What if, I don't want to go into the dark side, but what if any number of things could happen where all of a sudden you are forced to be self-reliant and self-sufficient. You never know. And I think it's really important to be able to take care of yourself. If you have a safety net, and if you have somebody else who's helping you out, and if you only want to work part-time, and if that works for you, then that's amazing. But if, God forbid, something happens and you end up in a situation where you are completely financially responsible for yourself and for your family and for all of your bills, I want you to be able to have the skills and the resources to be able to handle that situation. I think that's really important. Whether you do it or not is up to you. But I think everybody should, I think it's really important for women especially to be able to be self-reliant if we need to. I think that's really important. That's something that I really value. And I am, and it's the best feeling. And lastly, positive money belief number 15, money can be fun. Guys, money is fun. I love looking at my bank account. I love when I get that email from Square telling me that, you know, we're depositing $1,100 into your bank account because of the massages you gave yesterday. They don't say that. They don't say because of the massages. But, I like to celebrate when I hit a milestone. When I hit my first 5-figure month, when I got my first 5-figure month, I made $12,000 one month. And I bought myself a $1,000 espresso maker as a present to myself. And then when I hit my first 6 figures, I bought myself a robot vacuum, and I named him Mojo. And Mojo helps me clean every day. Every time I hit a milestone, I like to celebrate by buying myself something fun. I like to think of all the things that I couldn't afford before, and now I can. And I travel a lot, and I, you know, go clothes shopping, and I buy nicer clothes now, and I buy makeup and concert tickets and all the books that I want to read, and just fun. I don't know. I think money can be a lot of fun, and it doesn't have to be so serious if you're not constantly stressed out about it. So that's it. I've been talking for long enough. Those are my 15 positive money beliefs. Feel free to steal them. Feel free to use them. I would love if you would comment below and tell me which one was your favorite, which one resonated with you the most. And if you have more to add, I want to hear it. Please comment below. Tell me your favorite positive money beliefs, not the negative ones. There's enough of that out there. I just want to talk about the positive money beliefs. And if you want more money, if you're struggling financially, or maybe if you're doing all right and you just know that you could be doing better, I strongly encourage you to check out Rock Your Massage Practice Academy. That is the reason why I do so well. I credit all of my success to Rebecca Diaz-Abedo. She literally changed my life. That is not an understatement. So rockyourmassagepractice.com is where you can find all the information there. Check out the free 4 shifts webinar. And if you're tired of hearing me talking about how great coaching is, and you're just like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to make a call. I'm ready to actually get out there and do this properly and make some really good money. It's rockyourmassagepractice.com/application is where you go to book your free 60-minute discovery call. You will get absolute clarity on that call. I promise you. So that's it. That's all for today. I hope this helped. I would love to hear your thoughts. Comment below. Thanks so much for listening, you guys. Love you.